This is A-Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I got a video for you today. It's about 3 minutes long, so I need you to hang in there. But what I'm talking about is how Black women repel masculine men. And this is sort of piggybacking almost on the concept that I talked about in my last live stream about it almost not mattering whether or not women show up in feminine or masculine energy, just be yourself. But what if being yourself is repelling your husband or repelling the masculinity that you want, that you crave biologically, that you look for in a man when you are either looking seriously for a relationship or you're already in a marriage or long-term relationship. So I'm not going to get the gap too long. I'm going to go ahead and play the video, and then I'm going to come back with my perspective. So let me go ahead and take 10 million years to share the screen. You guys know. Okay.
So I worked with a couple before, and I decided instead of doing collaborative or joint coaching, I decided to do individual coaching. So I remember the wife called me one day, and we had to kind of have like an emergency session because she felt as though she was going to start again with the verbal and character attacks and whatnot, and she was trying to prevent herself from doing it. So I listened to what she was saying, and there was a lot of hypercriticalism in that conversation, right? So she tells me that he just can't do anything right. And it's not that he wasn't doing it right. It's simply that he wasn't getting it done at the time that she felt like it needed to be done. And he wasn't meeting her expectations. So I'm listening to her, and I'm listening to her criticize him the whole time. And then when she stopped, she said, "Coach K, why are you so quiet?" And I just looked at her, I'm like, "Are you ready?" She says, "Yes." Okay. I said, "Why could you just not say thank you?" "Well, what am I going to thank him for? He was supposed to get this done." "Why can you not say thank you?" We spoke about drawing a man in with gratitude. Men naturally want to show that they can provide. I said, we talked about this. How can you not be grateful for a trying man? It is as simple as you walking up to him, rubbing the side of his cheek or the back of his neck and saying, "Thank you, baby." That motivates him and gives him the confidence to keep going. Why do you always have to be right when it's so easy to just be happy? You could have waited for that time instead of criticizing, "Baby, why is this not done? Baby, why is this not done?" Why could you just not have waited until you are in a comfortable position to simply suggest it? Or say, "Hey, baby, how's it coming along?" If you feel as though it's not meeting a time that you want it to be met, then simply say, "Well, can I suggest this?" Simple as changing the conversation, change the dialogue. That's not hard. She said, "Well, he's a man. He should know how to do this." I said, and there you go with that emasculating behavior. There you go again. Emasculate him. And you are wondering why he does not want to be affectionate with you. You are repelling his masculinity. You are creating the disconnect. She looked at me and she was listening. She was, but of course she was combative. She just didn't want to receive that at that moment. And I said, "You're still not listening, are you? I hear what you said, but did it process? Did it register?" "No, it didn't, because I can tell by your countenance that it did not register." And he can feel and observe that exact same thing. I told her, if you want to draw in his masculinity, nurture his emotions, okay? It's not just about your needs. He's trying to meet your needs. He's trying to satisfy you. At least let him know that you are proud and you appreciate him and you are grateful for him trying. She took it. She eventually took it. She utilized it. Their relationship started transforming in some of the most magnificent ways. So I worked with a...
Okay. So I wanted you guys to go ahead and listen to that. And this is very common. What the young lady is describing that was told to her from one of her clients is actually really, really, really common. Super common. We as Black women, we don't have any idea. This right here, that right there, that's a monster. And we use it in ways that undermine our relationship so bad. And we do not even perceive the level of damage that we actually do. And then we get surprised when he goes off and meets his needs with another woman. We get surprised when he's just like, when he just checks out, I'm done. I'm done with it. And then he loved me. Why would he just leave? Why would he just leave? Because this is your normal conversation with your husband. He can't do anything right. Equals whatever he's doing is not going according to my plan. But if he's the leader, then he's supposed to be working on with his plan, not your plan. So if he's doing something, he's building, he's on his purpose in this relationship, and it's not happening on your plan, your timetable, according to your criteria, to you, that means he's not doing anything. To you, that means it's not moving. To you, that means he's loafing around or he's procrastinating or whatever the case may be. When in reality, you may not even know all of the working parts, the moving parts that's got to go on, especially when we're talking about a vision that is long-term, that you having to meet shorter term goals in order to reach that longer term. Stuff isn't just supposed to happen when you think it's supposed to happen. He may have even said, I anticipate us being in a certain position at a certain point in the future. 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, I see us being in a certain position. But stop acting like life don't happen. Stop acting like there aren't ever supposed to be circumstances or situations that might actually hold that back or hold it up. That doesn't mean he's not doing. That doesn't mean he's giving up. That doesn't mean it stopped. That means, okay, let me work around this problem. Let me solve the issue as to why we're a little stagnated right now. When you told me I was going to be able to be a housewife and stop working in the next 3 years, it's been 4. Okay? And especially if he's the type of man that's saying that's sitting you down and saying, look, I know what I said, but this is what's going on right now. I know I said I could sit you down in 3 years, but we might have to do this in 5 rather than 3. And the reason that we may have to do this in 5 rather than 3 is XYZ, XYZ. I don't know why y'all having a problem with that, or why all of a sudden, because it wasn't on the timetable that you thought it should be on, whatever it is, now all of a sudden he's not being a leader. He doesn't have system, order, and structure because you don't like it. Things that is everything you did or everything you ever planned on before you got married always happened exactly according to how you planned it? I don't think so, because that's not realistic. You have an overall plan and you do the best that you can to make sure that that plan actually works and that it is a viable plan. That's what you do. And then you work that plan. And it might be backed up because you're not a support system. He might have given the timetable thinking that he had married a support system when really he married a ball and chain, and that's what's dragging it down. That's what's slowing everything down, because he thought he would have help from you in certain areas, and now you refuse to do so because you ain't trying to stroke his ego and you're not trying to, nurture his emotions or doing anything like that. And it's too many Black women that think it's problematic when we talk about stroking your husband's ego. That's what you're supposed to do with his ego. That's what you're supposed to do. You want him to stroke yours? tell you how fine you is, and then no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't care how many times you walk around in flip-flops and a bonnet. You want him to make you feel sexy and beautiful, to do something with you you don't even do with yourself. You want him to stroke your ego. That is just the way it is. That is just the way that married couples work. You reciprocate in that manner. I stroke his ego. I tell him he's doing a good job. I say thank you. It's just like the example the young lady said in the video. Why would I thank him for something? Because he ain't doing. And it's like, what's y'all problem? Why are y'all so critical of the men that you elected to be chosen by? Why are you so critical of this man? And this is where it falls down when y'all talk about you having never met a leader. You just ain't never been a good follower. Because leading doesn't mean he's doing everything on your timetable and meeting every piece of your expectations the exact way that you want him to meet them. You can't thank your husband because you don't see any value in anything that he provides or anything that he do for you. So is it a wonder that he starts pulling back on that stuff? Now, I don't want to sit and talk to you about what the plans are, because you're not, when I talk to you, you're not supportive of me in the plan. You're critical of me about it. And that's two very different things. To be supportive and to be critical are two very different things. The whole, well, he's a man, he should know. Y'all kill me with that. Y'all are not clear on womanhood. How you so clear on manhood, though? He should know how to be a man isn't even based on a firm, solid understanding of men and male psychology. But what it is based on is an arbitrary belief system about what men do, about how they behave, about how they think, about what they should know, and how that knowledge helps or hinders them. All arbitrary. Nothing to do with the reality of men. Nothing to do with that. And you don't take any time to understand any of it either. He should know how to be a man really means he should do what I tell him. And he has to meet every expectation that I have without fail. In the way I want it, in the time I want it, how I need it, how I want. Like, he's not supposed to miss a beat. And if this doesn't happen, he's not being a man and he's not being a leader. He's failing me. And if you continue to put that energy out, that if he don't meet a specific criteria at a specific time, in a specific way, in a real, like, he's a failure to you. And when you give a man that energy, he take that in. I'm failing my wife. I'm failing my husband. That is, my children. That is not a motivation to him. That negative reinforcement that you're giving him by being super, super critical, that does not help him. That doesn't motivate him. It actually defeats him and crushes him. He begins to second guess everything, because if I do something that I think is worthy, I'm still going to fail her. Because it actually means a lot to men when they are married to succeed in your eyes, to be worthy in your eyes, for you to be admired in your eyes, for them to look at you and know that you look at them with admiration and with love and doting on them. They want that feeling. They need that feeling from you. And Black women's persistence in denying that, this is how so many relationships go south. Relationships that had so much promise and so much potential, you take pot shots at the foundation and eventually it falls. You think you're supporting and you're not. You're actually destroying. How you supposed to support is give a man your insight. Support his vision with your insight, which is different then giving him the blueprint on how to do the vision, how to work the vision. So for example, if he comes to you and he tells you what his vision is, and he tells you maybe some of the setbacks and challenges that he's experiencing while working towards these goals that he set and that you and him agreed to, insight is saying, well, beloved, after you told me all of that, here's what I see in that. I see that, going about it this way might cause us some issues. And here's why I'm feeling that way. Very different from saying, well, this is why you're having a problem. If you do such and such, such and such and such, then you'll be able to do it like this. And I don't even know why you did it like that in the first place. See, now you're going into masculine energy because you're problem solving for him, and he don't need you to do that. You're now setting up the structure. You're now reconfiguring the plan. He doesn't need, that's not support. That's masculine. That's masculine because you're giving over to that masculine energy of problem solving. He doesn't want you to problem solve. He wants your insight. He wants you to tell him what you see from your perspective. Just give him your thoughts without telling him how he needs to implement the thought. Do you understand the difference? Give him your thoughts and opinions without telling him how he needs to implement it or how your thoughts should sway the outcome. That's the key. So sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.